Now time for the 7 things you'll be talking about today. Number 7.
Oh, a tragedy in Louisiana. Oh, it's the worst thing that's ever happened. The ACLU is involved, and you have all sorts of people who are fired up about this. It is an absolute, just worst thing that's ever happened. The Republican legislature has put together a bill that says the 10 Commandments must be displayed in classrooms. Oh no, somebody stop them. They're out of control. They're putting up the 10. People are mad about this. I don't even get it. I don't get it. I do not understand it. Governor Jeff Landry laid out the intent. You want to respect the rule of law, you got to start from the original law given, which was Moses. He got his commandments from God. The ACLU, the American Civil Liberties Union of Louisiana, the Americans United for Separation of Church and State, the Freedom from Religion Foundation, I guess they're firing off press releases from their strip mall there in Wisconsin, and a bunch of other crazy groups are so furious about this. This is quite amazing that this makes them. The 10 Commandments, no, that hurts our feelings. Stop it. This is completely fine.
Number 6.
The family of a 15-year-old boy fatally shot by Athens police over the weekend expressed their profound grief and calls for justice, but they think justice has been served, emphasizing the need for a thorough and transparent investigation of the circumstances surrounding the tragedy. They also said that they do not want the cops to carry this burden with them. The young man found a gun in the closet, fired one shot before officers returned fire, resulting in Gabriel's fatal injury. And despite their loss, the family does not hold the officers at fault, with his father expressing hope that the police, quote, don't carry this burden, and acknowledging we did everything we could. It's no one's fault. It's a tragedy. I'm guessing the call for investigation is just so we make sure we know how to handle these things in the future and things like this, but it sounds to me like they don't think anything horrific was done by law enforcement, and they did a good job here. They're just a very sad situation all the way around.
Number 5.
United States Senator Katie Britt, Republican of Montgomery, once again expressed a disappointment after Senate Democrats blocked the passage of the Mothers and Offspring Mortality and Morbidity Awareness Act. MAMA. Yes, that's what it spells. The legislation aims to improve maternal and infant health outcomes. A cause Britt emphasizes critical for the nation's well-being. Asking where Democrats stand, are they more interested in scaring women and families or helping women and families? Personally, I'm proud to support women throughout the seasons of motherhood, and I'm honored to lead this pro-life, pro-woman, pro-family legislation with this bill. And I think that's perfectly fine bill. The Democrats cannot allow stuff like this to pass because unless it's more abortions, they don't know what healthcare is. That's it. If this bill has anything to do with not having more abortions, the Democrats are offended by the damn thing.
Number 4.
This story is absolutely insane. Arthur Ray Hansen II, you total dumbass. What are you doing? A Huntsville insurance salesman has been charged and pled guilty in an insane plot to threaten Fannie Willis, the Fulton County District Attorney, overseeing the investigation into former President Donald Trump. The threat, which will ruin this man's life, he has thrown his entire life away, were made in connection to Trump's legal challenges, and Arthur Ray Hansen admitted he made the stupid phone call out of anger and frustration over the trial. You absolute clown. Could you imagine throwing your life away over a phone call this stupid? He said, I'm not a violent person. Yeah, that's great. And now you're going to prison, you idiot.
Number 3.
Well, people are rightly mad about $42.5 billion being wasted on broadband internet. And they're right to do that. It was revealed that a federal government program used $42.5 billion and connected 0 houses with high-speed internet. $42.5 billion. What are they doing with it? They, like, setting it on fire? What in the world? What are you doing with that money? But they want to provide universal access. Well, here in Alabama, we do this. We do it slightly better. Maybe we should, give us $42.5 billion and let us do whatever we're doing here, because at least we've connected 127,000 plus houses, but we spent only 500 million plus being spent. Now, you may think, wow, that's a lot of money. And it is. Chris Elliott, a state senator from Josephine, says that each connection is costing $6,000 in Alabama. These two stories go together. What a waste of government resources. Holy cow.
Number 2.
Candidate for Congress in a court-ordered gerrymandered district, ALO2, Caroline Dobson, is expressing support for, quote, federal remedies for cities with out-of-control crime. Birmingham, Bessemer, Montgomery, we're looking at you. Meanwhile, on the state level, Speaker of the House Nathaniel Ledbetter has recently signaled that he is ready to allow the state to take over failed cities' police departments in the state, and that legislation will be taken up in 2025 in that session. So what this means is if your police department is not doing what they're supposed to do to bring down crime and make your community safe, the state will appoint a state-appointed police chief to remedy these issues. Federal as well, their federal policy. What does the federal policy look like? You send in the National Guard? What does that look like?
Now, time for the number 1 thing you'll be talking about today.
President Joe Biden's lack of plans to win the 2024 election are scaring people. I mean, is this to imply that he's in control of anything? But anyway, it's scaring his allies, staff, and handlers because they don't know or believe that he can develop a plan to beat former President Donald Trump. According to anonymous sources, the situation is becoming dire. Man, they really want this guy out. They're really starting this, ramping this up to push him out. But according to anonymous sources, the situation is becoming dire as Biden's team scrambles to develop a more effective campaign approach amidst growing challenges and, quote, there is a hesitance to raise skepticism or doubt about the current plan for fear of being viewed as disloyal, end quote. An anonymous official told that outlet. So there we go. This, I believe, is coming from Fox News, and then they had a report from another site that was doing this story. I think it's Politico. But the reality is this. Calling people racist and telling them, hey, this isn't what you're seeing, I don't think is going to work. Look, I'm not saying it's never worked before. It's a pretty tried and true Democrat strategy where you deny reality, and anyone who says, but what about this? You're like, oh yeah, well, why are you so racist? I mean, that's sort of like the whole thing. It's like, well, I think maybe this economic policy, oh, you hate black people. Oh, is that what you're saying? Yeah, well, maybe we should have a conversation about immigration. Oh, you hate Hispanic people too. Oh, I see how this goes. Well, I think maybe all this money being spent on Amtrak is bad. Oh, you know who built the trains? Chinese people. So you must hate Asian people too. That's the guy. We'll just make all these things up as we go. But they're saying that maybe this strategy isn't the best strategy. Don't worry. They're going to continue with that strategy anyway. But they're trying to come up with a different way. Threat to democracy. Everyone's evil who disagrees with them. Republicans are mean to women. Abortion. That's going to be their whole thing. So I would not expect too much of a change out of our friends on the left, but they're talking about it as if there's going to be a change. So kudos to them for maybe trying to come up with a new strategy, and so be it. And by the way, yesterday, in the 7 things, I mentioned that the Rickwood Classic was supposed to be yesterday. I was wrong about that. I misread and misunderstood. The game's tonight, and it will be awesome. I'm really looking forward to this. It looks like a pretty amazing setup. Rickwood Field in Birmingham looks amazing, and I think it's going to be awesome. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Watch that game tonight. If you're not a regular baseball watcher, these games have been pretty interesting so far. The game they did at the Iowa Cornfield was pretty cool. So watch this. And it's taking place right here in the state of Alabama, so it's a pretty neat thing. You can weigh in on that, which I don't know why you would, but you can weigh in on any of the other 7 things we've been talking about right now. It's all very, very simple for you to do. All you got to do is pick up the phone and give us a call right here on the QC Connect Free Speech phone lines. You can text us, that's 866-494-WVNN. You can text us on the scoutpestcontrol.com WVNN Hot Take text line. Get your thoughts in right there at 925-494-WVNN. Get your questions in for 10 with him as well. And you can email him too.
You've got mail.
Dale at WVNN.com. Let's take a time out. We'll be right back.
Get WVNN's Dale Jackson's 7 things you should be talking about today right in your email box every morning. Go to yellowhammernews.com and sign up today.